Welcome back to another episode of Gnarly versus Rad. I'm your host, Gnarly, and I'm joined today by my friend Laurie. I would classify Laurie as a musical expert, and the reason I classify you that is because I classify myself as a musical expert of sorts. And there's been songs that I couldn't figure out what they were. I had songs stuck in my head. I'm like, I know this song, and Laurie has been able to help me figure out what those songs were. So I was impressed by that. My wife was impressed by that. And so, Laurie, I'm classifying you as a musical expert. Also, you had an aunt that was a DJ. So, expert.
There you go.
So, whether you want to admit that you're an expert or not, I'm classifying you as an expert.
We're going to find out today, I think.
Yes, we are. So, today on Gnarly versus Rad, we got a head to head battle between two amazing female bands. We got the Go Go's versus the Bangles. Gnarly is Team Go-Go's. Rad is Team Bangles. So first of all, I wanna ask you when you not when you like a band, but in a situation like this where you're comparing bands, what's the most important factor when comparing bands as far as like how much you like them? What's the most important factor to you?
Probably their musical talent, like the skill that they have, or the not, or the, I guess the talent that they have. And
That's yeah.
I like I like bands that have like some kind of depth, some kind of story to them, or some type of, I don't know, something that draws you in, um, kind of sucks you into their genre or their vibe.
Mhm. That's the right answer. That's 100% the correct answer. Especially nowadays when there's auto tune and it's all about the looks and stuff like that. So for me, in this battle, the Go Go's versus the Bangles, I would say talent wise, I'm going to say that, man, because when the Go Go's first got together, none of them knew how to play instruments. So they were a look, they were a vibe at first, and then they learned how to play their instruments. So the Go-Go's bring like what a lot of people call like a street punk element to their music, and to me
Mhm.
that's like super appealing. Whereas the Bangles, like they were all like classically trained musicians, they grew up playing their instruments and that kind of thing. Would you agree with that assessment so far?
Yeah, I think I would say the Go-Go's probably were more gritty and the Bangles were probably more polished.
Perfect. Yes, exactly. The Go-Go's were influenced by punk, by bands like the Sex Pistols, by more of like a street element. And then the Bangles were more influenced the Beatles. That's their North Star is the Beatles.
Yeah.
So if you were to compare the two bands, you're on your team Rad, you're on the Bangles side.
Hmm.
What makes you pick them over the Go-Go's for this battle, particularly?
Probably so I actually prefer the sound of the Bangles as opposed to the Go-Go's.
Mhm.
I feel like the go so this is not like a technical term. I feel like the Go-Go's are more juvenile, whereas I feel like the Bangles there's a little bit more depth, but I think it also goes back to Go-Go's being more of that like street, where it's that punk, it's that like rough, and Bangles are just a little bit smoother. And I think they
I
know that. They didn't even want to be compared to the Go-Go's. Like they didn't feel like they were the same type of band at all. They didn't want to be classified with the Go-Go's.
True, very true. And I agree with that 100%. It's like you said, the Bangles are more polished, the Go-Go's are more street, and they didn't want to be compared. So if you're at a party or if you're at a club and the DJ's like, I'm gonna play one band tonight, would you pick the Bangles or would you pick the Go-Go's?
I would pick the Bangles.
Really?
I feel, and so because I feel like it's weird. Like when we were talking about doing this, and then I was listening to the Bangles because I've not listened to either band in a very, very long time.
Mhm.
I think I know more Bangles songs than I do Go-Go's. I'm also a huge fan of Prince.
Two
Oh,
points.
So there's that aspect
there's the nuclear bomb. Yeah.
because I always remembered that whole weird relationship because that always kind of fascinated me. But I think I know more. I think I'm more the Go-Go's to me, they're good music, but like if I'm gonna have to listen to something all night, I'd probably listen to the Bangles because it just has more uh
Depth.
they have more stuff they have more stuff, more variants than the Go-Go's. Go-Go's are pretty straight ahead.
I agree with that. But we're talking about at a club. So we're talking about dancing, we're talking about having a good time. And I feel like, and yes, I know Prince wrote a song, Manic Monday, for the Bangles, and that's a nuclear bomb that you can drop on me from your side. I mean, that's pretty amazing. But if you're talking about just dancing with your girls and your friends and just having a good time and
But is there enough Go-Go's to do that all night? You could probably go 1-to-1 with Go-Go's and Bangles with music to dance to.
so I actually have a game. So let's do that. I actually have a game. It's called Song Chess.
Okay.
And you're gonna get three chances, and I'm gonna get three chances, and you can only use it one time. So I'm gonna name a song, and then you're gonna name a song that you think is either of equal value or better than the song that I name, and then we'll see who wins. We'll go song for song with the Go-Go's versus the Bangles. Are you ready?
Okay. All right. And I'm gonna have to pull. I got okay. Go ahead.
Go ahead, take your time. Whenever you have, it's just three. You just need three songs.
I don't. Okay. Okay.
You could probably go off the top of your head with the knowledge that you have. You probably could. All right, so I'm gonna start out with We Got the Beat
Okay. So and all right. So I'm giving you a song like to dance. We're
from
doing
the Bangles. Yeah, from the Bangles that you think would be equally as good or better than We Got the
walk like
Beat.
an Egyptian.
What is it?
Walk like an Egyptian.
Okay, that's a good call. That's in the same realm. Yeah, that's a fun song. Okay. Um, how about Vacation?
Walking down your street.
Oh man, Vacation's better than that song. Be
It
honest,
might
be
be better,
honest.
but I mean, if we're trying to just go head to head,
Right.
yes, I have to choose walking down your street. I'm saying it's
Okay.
vacation's
Okay,
probably a
that's your
better
pick.
song. Yeah,
That's true. But mine is better on that one, I think.
probably.
Okay.
But
So we agree on.
I'm not gonna give you Eternal Flame.
Well, we're not there yet, so
Well,
hold
but
on
we're
to
not
that.
dancing like that. You don't dance to that
It's
song.
not a dance song. Correct. Correct.
Right, right. I'm trying to match apples to apples here.
All right. So I've given you We Got the Beat, and I've given you what was the one I just gave you?
Oh, vacation.
Vacation. All
Yeah.
right. Head over heels.
Uh,
That's a tough one, dude.
I know. Probably Manic Monday. I'll go Manic Monday that one. I'll pull
Okay.
out my poker.
All right. I think that's in the same realm. I agree with that. All right. This is my top five 80 songs of all time. Our Lips Are Sealed.
That's a good song.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if I can beat that.
That's a tough one,
Oh,
right?
all right, no, I will because it's a classic. Hazy Shade of Winter.
Two
Yes.
points.
Okay. And that was that if I was on your side, that would be the song I would bust out.
Yeah,
And I agree with that. That's a cover, doesn't matter. But okay.
that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah,
it's
and that's okay. That's cool because that I mean, when I grew up, I knew that as a Bangles song. I didn't learn that that was a cover until much later, till the internet came out. So, all right. So let's talk about depth of lyrics. Who do you think writes the better lyrics? Do you think because really when it comes down to it, the front person in the band, that's the person that everyone thinks about when they think about that band. So really we have Belinda Carlisle versus Susanna Hoffs. Who do you think writes the better lyrics?
if you're talking about poppy and fun, probably Belinda Carlisle. If you're talking about a little more like emotion or like a little more depth, I would say Susanna Hoffs.
I agree with that 100%. 100%. But with that said, there's a lot of Go-Go's lyrics that I thought I would sing along and I thought I knew what they were saying. And then I looked them up and I'm like, Oh wow, this song is much deeper than I thought it was. Like, you just kind of hear and you're like, okay, and you sing, and then you're like, then you look it up and it's like, oh, that's not what I thought they were saying at all. So it like, for example, Our Lips Are Sealed. If you look up the lyrics of that song, those lyrics are pretty freaking good. But
Yeah,
that song was actually written for I think she's the bass player for Jane. I think is Jane the bass player or the guitar player?
yeah,
It was written for Jane. From a like this really famous, I can't, he was like an artist or something like that. And then the Bangles took that song and they added lyrics to it and they turned it into a song. So, and I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, I feel like the Go-Go's lyrics are more fun. They're more
2
like party,
points.
right.
dance, kind of thing. Whereas the Bangles lyrics, I feel like they're more juvenile though. I feel like there's something like a seventh grade girl would write to her boyfriend. They're like poetry and they're little love song. You know what I mean? Would you agree with that?
Bangles versus Go-Go's.
Yeah. Did I say the Bangles again when I
No,
meant
you
to
said,
go? Okay, good. All right.
wait. Who do you feel like is seventh grade lyrics? Bangles or Go?
Bangles. Bangles.
Prob. Well,
Those are lyrics
I'm
that you write to your boyfriend when you're in seventh grade. The Bangles,
probably.
not the Go-Go's.
Some of them are. Some of them are.
Yes. Yes.
Eternal
They're
Flame, I would say no. Um, well, Hazy Shade of Winter was a cover song, so it's Simon and Garfunkel, so it's kind of hard to beat that.
right.
And I don't know. I don't know. I think they both, the Bangles probably have more, the Bangles probably have more of a mainstream appeal, whereas the Go-Go's, and I think that's what, so I think that's what happened with the Bangles. They started out in one vein, and then as their popularity increased, they got pushed by their, by management to like, they
Mm.
became more mainstream, more like the appeal had to be more, had to be bigger. Whereas the Go-Go's, I think, kind of stuck to their roots, like stuck to what they had always been. So like their lyrics were poppy, like there were songs that were you could dance to it and it was fun and everything like that. But like you said, you were able to go a little bit deeper because like that was like a shell for like what was within it. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly. That's all right. That's exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
So you had a nuclear bomb with Prince writing Manic Monday for the Bangles. For Susanna
Yeah.
Hoff, they were friends. Supposedly they were dating. I've seen some interviews with Susanna, and she said we weren't dating, we were just
Yeah.
friends.
I heard that
Um,
was that was kind of a made up thing, or no one just denied it.
but I
So
have
weird.
a nuclear bomb of my own. In the fact, and man, it's not as much of a nuclear bomb as it used to be because the legitimacy of this organization is out the window with some of the people they have in and some of the people they don't have in. But the Go-Go's are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't think the Bangles are.
1
That's pretty
million
huge.
Probably not.
points.
That's pretty huge. And they both were nominated for Grammy nominations. The Go-Go's I know won some MTV awards. That was pretty big at one time.
Yeah, and I think about it. If the Go-Go's, if they were the first all-female writers and performers, they should be in the Hall of Fame.
Agreed, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I don't know if I don't think the Bangles are yet, but I think they should be too. Like I mean just because of they had a huge effect on music and I'm sure there's a lot of girls that are in bands now that was their inspiration. So and they have good songs they write. I would say that the Bangles are probably way better musicians than the Go-Go's. Like they write good
Because
songs.
that I don't know that they should be in the Hall of Fame though.
You don't think the Bangles should be?
I don't know
I'm not
because
sure.
just
Yeah, I'm not
because
sure about
you're
record sales.
successful, just because you're successful to me doesn't necessarily. And I don't know how the Hall of Fame. I know it's votes and all that whatnot, but like success to me doesn't always equal Hall of Fame.
That's
Like you
true.
gotta have something. You know what I mean? To me, like you have to contribute something, or you should be showing. You know what I mean? Like I'm just because you're successful doesn't necessarily mean, in my opinion, that you should be in the Hall of Fame. You should have done something to influence or done something like you said to change, to change the trajectory of the genre or whatever you were doing at the time.
Agreed. That's true. And I think the Go-Go's definitely did that. The Bangles, I think pretty much like the Go-Go's came out in 78 or 79, and then they really hit in the early 80s, obviously.
Yeah.
And then the Bangles definitely came out in like 81. So they were a little bit later, but it's almost like the one-two punch. Like both of them were showing people like, hey, like all girl bands are pretty cool too, and they can do it too.
Yes. I agree. I agree.
So if you're taking singer for singer, because they're both good songwriters in different ways, I would say the Bangles probably write classically better songs. I think the Go-Go's write more fun songs, catchier, poppier, obviously. So let's take singer for singer. Who do you think has a better voice?
I don't know. I would say so. My preference is probably Susanna Hoffs, but it's just because for some reason I have no basis of any information or fact or whatever. Belinda Carlisle's voice just annoys
Really? Okay.
me.
I can see
Or
that.
like
It's
she kind of annoyed me with her solo career, and I was just like, ugh. But
yeah.
I have no. That's just my opinion.
Hmm.
Just my opinion. But I
Yeah,
don't know. Both of them, their voices are fine. Like I don't. I'm not blown away by either of their voices, to be honest.
agreed.
But I probably would. I don't know. Maybe because Susanna Haas has the support of the other artists. Like I feel like the Bangles had more. Like they had more harmony than the Go Go's. I have to listen to the Go Go's more, but like, so maybe that's why I like because it feels like it's like a better. I don't know. It's not just Belinda Carlisle. It's or like it's not just Susanna Hoffs. It's like everyone else singing in too. I don't know.
That no,
I
that's a
don't
good point, and that's a good thought. But the Go-Go's do have Jane Wyland sang a lot, and she
know.
went
Yeah.
on to like a solo career. But I don't know about the other two, and I know
I
with
don't
the
know that the other
Bangles,
two contributed as much as like the other
yep,
members. That's
agreed.
all.
Yeah,
That's all.
I think the Bangles, all of them sang.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I also I'm not sure that I'm like blown away by either band's voice. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't like, oh my God, they're an amazing singer. They were
right.
good. They were good for what they did.
So, what was the first song you heard by the Bangles?
That I can remember.
Yeah, just off the top of your head.
Probably probably Manic Monday. It has to be.
What was the first song you heard by the Go-Go's? I can tell you.
Probably, probably Vacation.
No, it was "We Got the Beat."
Oh, probably. Yeah, 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 yeah.
So what
Probably.
was your feeling with each of those songs the first time you heard each one of those songs? Which was stronger?
I liked We Got the Beat better than Vacation.
Right.
Vacation to me was too like therapy sweet.
No, no, no. What was between the Go-Go's "We Got the Beat"
Oh,
and between the Bangles? What was it? Manic Monday, you
Manic
said?
Monday.
Between those two songs.
Oh, that's hard though, because I was in a different place in my life when I heard those. We Got the Beat. I was young.
Hmm.
I was little. Um, probably Manic Monday.
Really? You felt a
Probably.
stronger connection to that than "We Got the Beat."
Probably because We Got the Beat was probably just more of me being little and like it being more of like an exciting song as opposed to like Manic Monday. I heard it, I understood it. I also knew who wrote it. Like there was a deeper connection for me.
Because you were older.
Yes.
So, who do you think is a better overall performer, Belinda Carlisle or Susanna Hoff, taking dancing into account, especially in the 80s? That was huge.
Probably Belinda Carlisle. She was
I think so too.
more
I,
dynamic on stage, more dynamic. Yeah.
and Susanna Hoff's played guitar, which really limits what you can do on
Right.
stage.
They
But
didn't
there,
take nothing.
there just didn't seem to be a lot of dancing coming from the Bangles. The
No.
Go-Go's were all about like going out with your girls and having a good time and riding around in a convertible and dancing in fountains, like that kind of stuff.
Well,
And the
I think the
Bang,
Go-Go's were more, I don't want to say they weren't unhinged, but they were more unhinged than the Bangles. They were
yes,
a good time. I don't think the Bangles were a good time. They were wanted to be musicians.
that's an excellent point. That's an excellent point. And I think that's when, anyone listening to this and anyone who's trying to decide which side they come in on, I would say that is probably the deciding factor. Like, what's more important to you? Say that again, the last thing you said. One is more unhinged and one is
The Go-Go's were more of a good time,
mhm,
where the Bangles wanted to be more musicians.
100%. And that might even change person to person depending, like you said earlier, depending upon what kind of mood you're in. Like,
Yeah,
what do I feel like right now?
yeah. Like
So,
Belinda Carlisle, to me, you'd go out and have a cigarette and a drink with.
yes.
Susanna Hoffs, you'd probably go out and have dinner with.
That's excellent. That's an excellent point. And talk about the Beatles and the
Yeah,
Rolling Stones.
yeah. It'd be
Yeah,
more like philosophical, whereas with Belinda Carlisle at the time, Belinda Carlisle, it would have been about going out, getting tuned in, and having a wild night.
agreed. 100%. And they both went on to have solo careers. Whose solo career do you think was more successful?
Probably Belinda Carlisle's. I couldn't tell you what Susanna
100
Hoffs sang as a
points.
solo artist.
Yeah, I would think so too. Um, and then also members of each band went on to have solo careers. You got Jane Wyland from the Go-Go's, and man, I can't
But I
remember.
don't know who did from the Bangles.
That's what I was gonna say. Maybe I'm thinking of Mickey Steele when she was with the Runaways. Yeah, I guess it was just I guess it was just Joan Wyland. She was pretty. She did okay. Like I watched some things about her, and she said, "Well, I didn't really feel like I did that well, but she had a couple good songs, and but she compared herself to Belinda, and I mean, you can't. Belinda was a meteor, and I think that it also depends on who your management is, who your producers are, who's pushing you, who your connections are. I think that makes a big difference as well.
Yeah.
But then you got just the face cards, just the look. Um, Belinda Carlisle has, to me, more of almost like a throwback of like a Raquel Welch, or what am I looking for? Those divas from like the 60s, 50s, like that kind of look. And
Yeah.
Susanna Hoffs has more of like an 80s. She has like the 80s appeal. She had the side eye. Every young kid in the 80s knew what the side eye meant when you talked about it from Walk Like an Egyptian.
She was
So,
more subtle. I would say she was more subtle, whereas Belinda Carlisle was more in your face.
agreed. I agree. Yes, I agree with that 100%. That is very
Yeah.
true.
Different styles.
Yes. Yeah, just like the band. Like, if you think about it, each band kind of followed their singer's style to a point.
Mhm.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty
The
interesting.
Go-Go's were wild.
Yes.
They were
Yeah,
wild.
and
They were
and they
wild. And they knew they were. Like they knew they were. And
yeah.
I don't know that the Bangles had any. I mean, again, I don't know them, but like you just didn't, it was just a different vibe with
And they were more, like you said, they were more subtle and understated about their wildness as well.
them. Yeah.
Whereas the Go-Go's were like, we don't care. This is who we are. This is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
You know, they were more punk rock about being pop than the Bangles were. And I
100
And it
feel
was
like
the
points.
time. Don't you think it was also the time? Like that was when it was a different, it was like sex, drugs, and rock and roll when the Go-Go's were hitting. And
yes.
I don't think it was that same vibe when the Bangles were hitting. It was
Excellent point.
it was more subtle. You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
was more about, it was almost like blue collar versus white collar. You know what I mean? Like it was just a different time with
Yes.
music, with just this economy, like everything. It was just different.
Even though there's only a couple years in there, things change a lot and they change quickly.
Yeah.
So I agree with that. Yes, the Bengals still almost had like that 70s kind of appeal to them, whereas the 80s were more like women's empowerment and we don't have to do this to be
Right.
that. And we can be taken as serious musicians. So yes, that's a good point. The time period, even though it was just a couple years, the time period does make a difference. Absolutely.
Because think about it, you're coming out of the 70s where it was kind of wild. You know what I mean? Like it was very free love, and then that whole punk movement started. And then when the Bangles were coming up, it was more, you were more conscious about disease and being smart, and you know what I mean? Like it was just a different it was just, to me, that it was more subtle. Like stuff was going down, but like not as overtly as it was, in my opinion, coming out of the 70s and the early 80s.
Yeah, 100%. That's when women started wearing shoulder pads and women could be bosses and they could
Mm-hmm.
run the bank and not just be a teller. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's a
100
really good point.
points.
And I would say if you think about it, that's probably what each of the bands were trying to represent. They were representing their era, like you said, the Go-Go's are more free and punk rock, street, whatever you want to say. And then the Bangles were more, we're going to be professional. We are musicians and you're going to respect us for this, not that. So I think we both made a ton of good points. And honestly, like I love both of these bands so much. The Go-Go's, I kind of burned out on the Go-Go's a long time ago. Like I listened to them so much and
Yeah.
so I've come back to them over the years and they're always on my 80s playlist. Both of these bands, the Go-Go's and the Bangles, are always on my 80s playlist. The Bangles, Hazy Shade of Winter hit me at a specific time in my life where like that was in Less Than Zero, I think, right? I think that was in that
Yes.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
so and that time period for me, like that was when I was coming of age. So that song just like bam, that just like hit me. And then of course, you had Susanna Hoffs with the side eye and coming of age and that kind of stuff. And all the guys like, oh, Susanna Hoffs. And the Go-Go's were when I was a little kid. And I was like jumping around and dancing around. We got the beat and stuff like that. And then when I got a little older, then some of their other songs I got more into. So I guess it's going to depend on, like we said earlier, what mood you're in. Because probably fans of the Go-Go's are also fans of the Bangles and vice versa, right?
I agree.
So it's going to depend on what you're looking for that day. Am I looking to get like pumped up because I'm going out to hang out with my friends? Well, then I'm going to listen to the Go-Go's. Am I just sitting here and I'm just drinking a cup of coffee or I'm just drinking a beer and I'm just trying to relax at the end of the night and just trying to chill? Then I'll probably listen to the Bangles,
Yeah.
right? Would you agree with that?
I agree. And do you feel like the Go-Go's were more overplayed than the Bangles?
Oh, that's a good call. Especially We Got the Beat. When I first heard that song, I loved it. I hate that song now. Like I can't even listen to it. Um,
Or even Vacation? Like I just feel like it's such
yeah,
a stereotype now. Like if you're gonna, I don't
yeah.
know. Like I feel like they kind of beat them, and I don't know. It's like I
No,
don't listen to
that's yeah.
Go-Go's so long because I think I'm just like you said. I'm kind of burnt
I
out.
agree with that. Yeah, that's
Zero
that's a that's an
points.
excellent point. Yeah. So, the Bengals Walk Like an Egyptian was played a lot,
Yeah. Yes.
and it was on MTV. So, and
Yeah.
it was an MTV was hitting its stride. So that was the video, and then you also had the radio airplay as well. Whereas the Go-Go's, I think when they first came out, MTV was in its infancy. It was kind of getting started,
Yeah.
but it didn't have both the one-two punch that you were just seeing it and hearing it all the time as much as the Bangles did. But I also feel like there was probably more options, especially when it came to like female fronted and all female bands. There was more options when the Bangles were out because the way was already being paved.
Yeah. 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 I agree.
Yeah, that's a big thing for me. I get sick of songs. Like,
Hmm.
oh my God. I've gotten to a point where like my favorite songs, like I'll listen to them like, yes. And then that's it. Cause I want to have that feeling every time I listen to it. I want to have that feeling like the first time I heard it.
Yeah.
I don't like if I hear it over and over again, it doesn't matter how much I love the song. I'll be like, not that I hate it, but I'm like, okay, that's enough. And like Metallica's first, like Master of Puppets, not their first album, that was their third album, but Master of Puppets, I listened to so much that I was like, I can't even listen to it anymore. Like I loved it so much when I first heard it. It was so different. Every time I was lifting weights or skateboarding or just playing video games, that album was on. And I'm so sick of it now. Like, but I love that. There's still the respect, the love, the musicianship is still there. So, and I feel like it's easy to do that with some of the bands that Metallica wasn't even played on the radio at all back then.
Right.
They had no
Right.
videos back then,
Right.
but I still managed to get myself sick of them. So I'm very careful of that, especially with bands that get a lot of airplay. Who do you think had more hit songs? And I don't know. I'm asking. Who do you think had more hit songs between the Bangles and the Go-Go's?
I don't know. I would think it was the Go-Go's, but I feel like the Bangles had more mass appeal because of the time, because of MTV, because of the way radio was going. So, but I think the Go-Go's had more. I feel like they would have had more, like number one song or whatever you want to call it, like better ranked songs.
I would agree, but
100
I
points.
think also like it might be because they had a head start, but I also think that just having head start doesn't equal hits. So I think they're probably similar. I think they probably each probably have like between like 5 to 7 huge hits that if you heard, you'd be like, oh yeah, I know that song. I love that
Yeah.
song. That reminds me.
Yeah.
So how much does nostalgia play in the factor on who you decided which one you wanted to pick? How much does that factor into like is it actually the musicianship and how good of a musician they are or were, or is it more of like this was this time period of my life, so that's why I like, this song or this band?
I think music is always going to be, I think your propensity to a song or something, a lot of times I think it's always going to tie back to nostalgia, like where you were when you heard it or what was going on in your life or what it helped you through. So I don't know if it's better or worse. I think sometimes it's just Go-Go's to me will always be associated with me like when I was young, summertime, being at the mercy of a radio. You didn't get to hear the song all the time. So when it did come on, you were like, whereas Bangles, when it came, like I had more control over when and how I heard that music.
That's a
And I
good
was
point.
older. I was older.
Hmm.
It was child versus adolescent.
And I don't know if this makes any sense to you, but I feel like the Go-Go's are daytime summer and the Bangles are nighttime fall or winter.
Probably.
You feel that? Okay. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, because the Go-Go's to me are more of a, it's when your like senses are free and that's always like, summertime. Like that's always that wild, like there's no structure, no routine, no schedule. You're just looking for your friends, you're out looking for a good time. And yeah, I think the Bangles are more subdued, more structured. Yeah.
So we're going to leave it up to the audience. I think we've both made some excellent points. I really do. I agreed with you on everything you said. I think I made some good points too. I agree with me
Good.
on everything I said as well.
Good. I'm
Uh,
glad.
so any last thoughts? We got about a minute left. Anything else? I think we've pretty much made our cases for both bands.
No, it was fun. I will say it was a lot of fun. I've not listened to the Bangles in forever. So actually I was like, oh yeah, oh this,
Right.
okay. And
Yeah.
then watching Behind the Music, that was really, I missed that show and I wish
Love that
somebody
show.
would, that was to me such a great.
Yes. I don't
So
know why.
anyway,
I don't know
that
why
was
they
so much
stopped.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why they stopped.
Yep.
Yeah. I love that show. There's a behind the music Go-Go's as well.
Okay.
Gnarly
Love that.
So
wins.
so Lori, I just want to thank you for coming on. This was awesome. This was fun. We got to do it again. I
Okay.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
Era, I want you to vote.